So we're going to take a look at how to download data from an ArcGIS feature server for use in QGIS. So you may come across these sorts of websites where the data link points off to a feature server like this. These are provided through an ArcGIS REST Service protocol. And whenever you come across one of these, it'd be really great if there was just a download link on the page, but there is not. But what we can do is grab that URL and then go off into QGIS here, open the data source manager, and on the types of files on the left, there should be an ArcGIS REST server option. If you're using a slightly older version, they used to have this split into feature servers and map servers. So if you don't see the generic REST server, pick the feature server option. And what we want to do is create a new connection. So I'm going to click the new button. And I'll just call this server DOT for now, and I will paste that URL in, and I'm going to leave everything else blank. Click OK, and now I'm going to connect to this server. And here I can see there's that Rhode Island polygon layer, and I can highlight that and say add, at which point QGIS starts requesting data from that server. Luckily, Rhode Island is a relatively small state, so this should load in a few seconds here. You can tell that it's busy because of the blue bar at the bottom. That will go away once everything is loaded. I believe what QGIS does is it sends a request for a certain number of features at a time. Once it gets those, it makes another request. So most ArcGIS servers should allow you to download the entire layer. If you're dealing with a really large state, you may run into a timeout issue. I have seen some servers where even though it's making multiple requests, it gets bogged down. It's not the most efficient way of transferring data, but generally works. All right, so the data is loaded in. It has its own style. I would recommend, rather than working with the data, right now all the data is in memory coming from that web server. I would recommend that you save that locally. So I'm going to right click it and say export, save the features as a geo package. And I'll just put them in here and just call it like .dotri and save that. And now I have it as a geo package. If you want the styles that came from the original server, what you can do is right click that original layer, go to styles, copy style, all the style categories, and I'll turn that off. And then from my local copy, I'm going to right click and say styles, paste the style, all style categories. And now I have the original symbology that was used there. A couple things you might want to do if you only need a small area. Maybe I only needed the downtown Providence data here. And this is especially important if you're dealing with a really large layer, maybe a national layer. You can check this box that says only request the features overlapping the current view extent. So that would be wherever your map is showing, it's only going to request those features. So that can allow you to download just the section you need. Another thing you might want to do, if we go back to the website, I can navigate their server by using this hierarchy up above. So I can go up one level to hosted, and I can see all the other layers that they have. So here I'm seeing some other states like Alaska, and then there's a lot of other data in here. I can similarly just use this part of the URL in QGIS. So if I were to edit that record and just put in the shorter URL there, now when I connect, I should see all of those different layers. And there's this nice filter, so if I'm looking, say, for a particular state, so if I'm looking for Rhode Island, I can just type a couple letters in and narrow it down to that.